Hello and welcome to the couch right here on ZTN Prime. Well, this is where we talk nothing but the world's most beautiful game, which is football. In studio, I've got the couch squad. Yeah, Mr. Teach is here. David is here. Well, we're missing two members of the couch squad, but hey, they will be part of the show. Trust me, you're going to see them, but they are just not sitting here. But Mr. Teach and David are here. Guys, I know the most event, if I can use that you guys are looking forward to. It's coming, a week and a half or 2 weeks tops. It's coming in the Cosafa Premier Soccer League, because that's our pals, eh? When we go to Rufaro, we go to Barber Fields, we go to Mutare, you know, the adrenaline that comes with that. I know you guys can't wait, but there's something that's in the immediate, because we've heard so many stories about the Mighty Warriors. Remember 2016, they were right at the top. But right now, you can't compare the Mighty Warriors with Eswatini. You can't compare the Mighty Warriors with Botswana even, because we have gone down. But there's a revolution that's going on. We will talk about that. Besides this, Makepekepa in Malawi, 2-week pre-season tour. They'll then pass through Mozambique, play some games. Not only that, there's a new story again, a 4 Nations tournament in Botswana. Plenty of football, hey, that we've got. Are you looking forward to some of these, the Mighty Warriors?
I think anything that's got Zimbabwe attached to it and it's football related, absolutely love it. Glad to see the Mighty Warriors getting some action. I'm sure we're going to dive into the meat and bones of it throughout the show. And really excited as well. We'll talk about the 4 Nations, seeing friendlies, because many a time when it was the FIFA international break, I think over the last couple of years, we've hardly had our Warriors in action. And, you know, so that's something to look forward to, and opportunities for players who are looking to don the yellow and green of the Warriors.
And I know, David, we had the coach's refresher course. There was also supposed to be a CAF B refresher course. But hey, do you need a CAF B refresher?
It's still fresh.
Less than 6 months. Less than 6 months. I'm only 5 months into the CAF B.
So we heard a lot of teams were looking for coaches. Did you throw your name in the hat? Maybe one of the teams that are there?
To be honest, I did. But I'm just waiting, you know, for something to come out. You know, when you have got the requisite course inenge chidiwa, paper racho rinenge richinyanya kudiwa racho iroro. Chances are you'll be hired.
You know, David, I found Mototara's name sort of on the couch was, you know, when I told the interview, I don't know, but
but hey, just to let you know, the fans know, you coach Star FM Football Club.
Yeah, I do. I do. Last Saturday we won by 2-0. When we played against Net 1, you know, I took a bit of a lesson. You know, first game of the season in the Communications League. And we managed to win by 2-0, yeah.
Coach Maketo.
That's the couch squad. Coach Maketo and Mr. Teach. But hey, let's take a look at the trending football stories from in and around Zimbabwe and see what's going on. But remember, our topic for today, we are focusing on the Mighty Warriors. They are in South Africa. Yeah, we're going to be hearing from Veronica Gwaze. She is in South Africa. Yeah, remember, she's part of the couch squad, and she's giving us the news first because she's on the ground. But yeah, on our trending stories, FIFA have confirmed that the Warriors will be back in action during the March FIFA international break, where they will take part in the 4 Nations tournament in Botswana. Zimbabwe will join Zambia, Malawi, and host Botswana at the 4 Nations, which will be played from the 23rd to the 31st of March at the Obedi Itani Chilume Stadium in Francistown. So yeah, that's one of the things that we opened up the show with. I'm glad to see the Warriors back in action. Not so long ago, they were at the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, and a lot of things were being said, mechanica, scientific approach, and you know, a lot of things. But here's an opportunity now for Marin Marinika to kind of press restart and see the boys that he really wants to move forward with.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. It's an opportunity for restart, reset, whatever you want to call it, because if you go back to December when we went to the Africa Cup of Nations, I think it less than a month to sort of come up with a team. He made some interesting decisions that got him on the wrong side of some fans. So this is the opportunity for him to sort of lay out his blueprint in terms of what he wants to achieve. And what I actually appreciate even more about this tournament is the regional cooperation between these different associations. I was reading the statement that was released by ZIFA, and they were saying, they came together, and it was a joint statement with the association in Malawi and Botswana and Zambia, and just leveraging each other and trying to help each other grow. Because, at the end of the day, when we go to AFCON or we're playing against the Tunisias or the Nigerias, we end up representing this Cosafa block. So this is an opportunity, I hope, for the players that are knocking on the national team door. I don't anticipate to see a lot of our Europe-based players coming. It'll be great if they can, but I think for those who are trying to stake their claim, who are trying to be a mainstay in the Warriors, especially the local-based players, it could be a great opportunity for them to test themselves.
So the past tournament, Africa Cup of Nations, look, we played seemingly well. The qualifiers, yes, we had some wins, and it helped with our ranking. We're 129 in the world right now, and I think the good thing about it, you've got qualifiers for the 2028 Africa Cup of Nations to be hosted by the trio of East African nations, Tanzania, Kenya, taking part in. We also want to take part in that. But at number 129, we were saved to be in the preliminaries. We got a bye. But this tournament that's coming, because it's under the FIFA international break, whatever we get is going to count on the points that we'll get. Right? What do you think our prospects are at this tournament?
Yeah, I think, like what you just said, I would press at that start button, but it needs a continuity of the boys that went to AFCON, and especially those that he thinks, are going to be part of the, maybe, let's say, the 5-year project or even the 10-year project, because there are certain, individual players, maybe, no, these guys, I think their time is up. They shouldn't be considered for any more collabs. But I still feel good. Marinika has got a chance now, even Howard, to see those that are playing in Europe, to be honest, because our league hasn't started. So there's no way he's going to pick some of the local best players and say, no, I want these boys, 1, 2, 3, because in terms of even match fitness, they are nowhere near the ones that are playing in Europe. So I still feel good. You can just call those that are European based to come and play, that tournament. So
remember, after AFCON, Marinika went on a sojourn in Europe, talking to different players. So maybe we might see some players that we haven't seen before.
I think it would be interesting. I would love it if we get to see some of those players. I know post-AFCON, there's been a lot of attention, a lot of interest around Maswani. We only got a teaser in that game against South Africa. So for a lot of Warriors fans, I think they want to see more from. We've been reading about him week in, week out in the various publications because of the form that has been carrying in Scotland, and just want to see how, given maybe the trust and maybe a more pivotal role. We've also seen players like Tawanda Chidewa. I think he was very vocal speaking to you guys when you guys were in Morocco about how they need to step up and take the responsibility. So I hope we can get them. The fact that it's a FIFA international break works in our favor. The question is, will we be able to convince them and their clubs for the players to come through and play, since these are friendlies?
And also, I still feel good. There are certain boys that are playing in Europe, right, who are not even playing for the first team, but they are playing in the under-21s and all. I still feel good. You see this kind of invitational friendlies, and they can still do that even at under-20 level. The member associations, even those 4, can still organize this kind, and we want to see those boys coming to play for the under-20s, rather than just waiting.
A tournament for the development.
Exactly. Isusu Award, for example, Tiger invite, especially in Angola, South Africa, even in Zambia. Ta invite kuma 4 nation tournament one, under-20. or even under 23, so that tigare tichionekera andinoona. But ukazitarisa kumashure kwezo kwawati hazvichaitika. Now everyone now is focusing on the Warriors. No one is focusing on the my young Warriors. Andinoona whether kuvasikana kana even kuvakomana kwacho tikungotarisa
first senior team.
Exactly.
Sorry, just to divert, but we're still talking about Warriors. So there was an issue now in Ndiri Nomota. Any update on that? What really happened at AFCON?
I haven't heard anything, Howard, at the moment, but there's an article that I read about his coach saying, and he's not even yet ready to play. Ku club kwake, ku Reading. Yeah. Argun is not yet ready, he's not fit to play. I don't know exactly what's the problem with him.
I know from AFCON, the official communication line was that it was an agent family matter, but there was no update during the tournament or even after that. But I think it's a big red flag as well in terms of him not getting any action in the club. But I'm also, you're talking about Andy Nomota, but I'm also keen to see whether the tense relations from the outside looking in between Marshall Monetti and Mario Marinica, who thought in this tournament, is this going to be an opportunity for the likes of Marshall, who was very open in saying that he hadn't really interacted or engaged with the coach? There was a lot of apparent misunderstanding. Is this come to a time, no pressure, it's not a qualifier. We've got 3 matches that we can play. They're in camp for a week. Could this be an opportunity to mend relations? And what does it say? If Marshall doesn't turn up or is not called up, does it mean he's being frozen out? So, I mean, as we edge closer and closer to this, I'm sure there'll be a lot of subplots around this as well. But for most casual Warriors fans, I think Maswanese will be the player they hope will be part of the foreign-based players who come through.
Maybe we'll hear Marshall is still injured.
It's
just me being mischievous. Anyway, let's move on. Now we've got a team that's on a pre-season tour in Malawi. Caps United are there. And their pre-season has been going on well. We've been reading stories. We've got our man with the team in Malawi, Tadi Manyepo. And we hear they've been feeling the love out there in Malawi. And Tadi, who's traveling with the team, he's been sharing his experiences on the road.
Yeah, hello, the Couch Squad. I'm here in Lilongwe, Malawi with Caps United, who are touring this country on their 2-week pre-season camp. They are calling it a pre-season of training as well as bonding. So the team left Harare on Friday at around 3 a.m. and arrived on the same day at around midnight. So people have been asking, why by bus? Why didn't you guys fly? But yeah, then they have to be reminded that this is a bonding exercise. It's not just about training, it's also about team building. So team building, haitirwe vanhu vangoshika kwavari kuenda. Inotangira muroad chamuchamu, because muroad mune difficulties anosanganikwa now. You know, these guys were playing music, which argue about the kind of music, the genre of music that each player likes. You know, vachitonetsana vachita you know, waitoona kuti okay, vanhu vanotombonetsana, uyu anotomboti zvakati, uyu anotomboti zvakati. But then at the end of the day unotozoona kuti vanhu vari kutoita vachitobatanidzwa, vanhu vachiita vachitobatanidzwa, and zvese izvozvo zvinoitika chete kana muri palong journey. Because palong journey zvamunoita munogona kutombotukana muri mulong journey imomo, mototsvaga futi way, mototsvaga futi muyananisi, motoramba muchitowirirana. That is all about football's power to break those barriers. Football's beauty was quite in full manifestation on Saturday when we arrived at the Silver Stadium when the team was training ahead of their friendly match against Silver Strikers at that same stadium. That match was played on Sunday and Caps United 1-0 with Brett Amidu scoring a hawita of a goal. But on Saturday, this other guy, guys, how are you? You are coming from Zimbabwe. Achitora kuti Antombo nema words mairi matatu anogona eshona. And then we asked him who was he. Akati nini ndiri bamnini va captain we Caps United. That is Phineas Bamus is the one akatanga kutudza kuti originally Phineas Bamus comes from this country. And iye akazvarwa ke ku Zimbabwe. Iye bamnini vacho and vakatoshanda kuZimbabwe until 1988 vachibva vazomuvha kubva vakatoshanda kuInyat Mine vaibva vazomuvha ikoko vachidzoka kuno kuMalawi ndokutone family yavo yekwaBhamusi kunotone chief vanotonzi chief Bhamusi kunototongwa nana Bhamusi vana Phineas so takatongoona ingano bhora rinotobreaka zvimwe zvinhu zvamusikataze so it's not only Bhamusi aitouya kuno for the first time ndakasangana nawo bamini vake vakabva vatozoziyana kunyange zvavangambonana ka1 muna 2022 bamini vacho vambodzoka kuHarare kwaMutare kunogara vana Bhamusi vachida kusukona mukoma vanoibaba Bhamusi vanoshanda uku kwaMutare but then apa vazosangana manje vakava nemufaro zvakanyanyisa. So it's not only Bhamusi anobva kuno kuMalawi originally. We also have players like Ishmael Wadi. Ishmael Wadi last visited Malawi, his roots in Blantyre when he was just 10. And then this was his second time. And Arukufara Singaiti, kuti ndadzoka ndiri kuno kumusha kwatunoita se kwatunobva. Also you have the right back, that is Wesley Milans, also comes from here in Malawi. But it was his first time. It is his first time to be in Malawi, as well as Brian Kadamanja, that big defender. Antotara chichewa zvokutoti hatitoneseka pakonversa nevamwe vekuno kuMalawi unotongomudaidza kuti Kadamanja uya unzwa kuti zviri kunzi chi kuti ndoda kuudza munhu kuti zvakati because kuno Malawi these guys are quite friendly. They are a home nation. No wonder why they are called the home heart of Africa. Ndo zvavari vanhu vachona, they are so welcoming. And Cape United team yekuti vanotoibhiga zvisingaite, vanoiziva, inozikanwa. Cape United Dynamos naIslanders kuno kunozikanwa, and mazira anodziita kuno vadzizive semagiants emuZimbabwe vanoti these are giants of Southern Africa. So game reCape United neSilver Strikers hata muswe Sunday arangariri mawani chacho because vakazara vachitoda kuona one of the giants of Southern African football. That is all about zvirikuitika kuno kuMalawi.
Yeah, many thanks to Tadi. He's at Malawi there. You heard the whole story right from the moment they left Zimbabwe and yeah, everything that has happened in between up to today. I think for Bhamusi, Kadamanja, Melanzi, they are really feeling at home. I'm sure they are feeling the love. You know, you are in the Cape United team, you go around and and you know, conversing easily with the people of Malawi. I think it must be a good feeling.
I think it reminds me of that whole concept of Ubuntu and, you know, how some of these borders that we share are probably artificial, and just to see not only the players have direct familial relations in Malawi, but even at the end there, Terry just speaking about how revered not only Cape United but our traditional giants, Highlanders and Dynamos are. You know, I'm not sure if it kind of felt like maybe they look at us a bit nostalgically, because I don't know if we can still say Cape United, Dynamos and Highlanders are giants of Southern Africa based on recent performances, but in terms of their history and their impact.
Baba ndi Baba.
Yeah, Baba ndi Baba.
Yeah, azvichinji.
Apa takagara kana two equipes sakabvana pazvinoita saka. Akanda kuti saka Baba ndi equipes.
Chero dzikauya dzimwe.
No, you said Caps, Highlanders and Dynamos.
Exactly.
So we said Baba ndi Baba. Whether you're talking of Dynamos or you're talking of Highlanders, all these new clubs, they know the Baba ndi Baba.
And just to continue on that, this is why I feel, as much as we are excited with the new teams, your Scotlands, your Moors, Hard Rock that's coming up, Ngezi Platinum, FC Platinum Stars, I think if we want to continue maintaining and putting an impact in the region, our traditional giants, those big three, have to be competitive, because it's going to take a long time before people start revering Scotland, revering Ngezi Platinum Stars, FC Platinum Stars. FC Platinum, I mean, where on the continent played, but I'm sure if you go around, there won't be the top team that people, whether from Malawi or Zambia or Botswana, will think about when you talk about Zimbabwean football. So there is a motivation, I think, for Cape United, who look very strong this season, to just maybe for even the players themselves, they look at this and being reminded, Zimbabwe, you know, people are talking about Moors all the time, Scotland all the time, but Malawi, people still remember what we did in '96. They still remember what we did in 2004. Still remember what we did in 2016. you know, and the impact that we had on the continent. So hopefully it can inspire them outside of the bonding to come and replicate that and do it on the field and challenge the new boys.
What I can tell you is Caps United and Silver Stars are looking at ways, you know, of going into projects together, whether it's player exchanges, whatever they can, but they've just muted that. So, yeah, the talks are ongoing right now between the two clubs. So it's another avenue that Makepekepe have opened. But David, we hear, yes, Caps are in Malawi. We hear Scotland went to South Africa, Hard Rock went to Botswana, Dynamos going to Wange, Tel One going to Bulawayo. Is there a difference? This is pre-season.
Yeah, the difference Teach is our domain. The difference is chamuda kuna achieve maenda iko kuchi. And
you have gone on these pre-season tournaments or pre-season friendly matches.
You know what? In 2002, when I joined Caps United, we went to Kariba, you know, for 2 weeks, training in Kariba. But do you know what? Takatamba friendly game 1, in Kariba Wave. And those days, Kariba Wave, I think, was still in Division 1. All these other days, we were just doing strength training. And it go for a chest. And it helped us, especially in the first 10 games of 2002. And it mangoma teams unoza kuti vanenge vangori muno marare vachita zvavanenge vachiita ndika. But unoza kuti after 10 games idzodzo, all those other teams matched us now in terms of fitness. We started losing games. Because we went there for strength training. Hatina kuenda kunotraina bora. So iko zvinezvi, I think these teams dzakaenda kunze dzakatoenda kunotamba magames mostly because vari kutry new combinations. Remember these teams, Howard, dzine new players akawanda. And it compared to time yataienda pamwe inini like in time ndakasvika Caps, I was myself and Mafuto Chapani. I think we were less than 5 guys who joined Caps United. And younger team bonding, of course, but a lot was to do with strength. Pamba sina zvokunzi tactics and all. Because kwanguri kungokwidza makomo toburuka toenda kumwe kwatanonzi tikunogadzira tsapfu. You know, musi watakazotamba neKariba Wave wacho chachewo. Unoziva kuti miri watorema. Ona, kwekuti vanhu vatakatamba navo. There was a guy, munhu aigara kutaura naAshley Rambane pasi, ainzi Kamugoti. That guy ran the rings in the midfield because vanhu vanga vari kungotraina bhora every day. Isitansika titraine bhora.
So if I'm getting you right, there has to be some kind of balance between the physical strength and conditioning,
yes,
and the tactics.
Handikuona manje. Ndozvinhu zvinofana kunge zvichiita zvichisanganiswa.
Okay.
And strength training iri bo, but I kuramba chimwe. But nowadays, because of the scientific thing that is there in football, there is a lot now that you can learn and do with your players. Team bonding, team tactics, especially my tactics. So
what I can tell you with regards to Caps, they are currently taking on, the match has just ended against the Silver Stars. So remember, the first match they won 1-0.
Yeah.
Brett Amidi scoring. Today they won 3-0.
Yeah.
So maybe bonding, there's probably some telepathy because Mfana Wako Diva has scored. Tinotenda Meke. McDonald Makue also scored. Sean Choto also scored.
Ukona Howard chiripo pepe. Timu yakatanga kutamba ne Silver Stars ikawina 1-0 and niyatamba nasi. Pampani, there's 2 teams dzatamba.
Okay.
Nasi. That's why ndati pepe in terms of my combinations. And Coach Chiragwi wants to try different players, different games, different tactics. Because you can't use the same tactics and with 2 different teams. One, obviously, inenge tamba nas ananga shandisa imwe tactic. Yakatamba pepe vanenge vakashandisa imwe amwe tactics. But still the ace and the team. Saka unozoona manje pane pakufuswa in manje ma players manje pepe. Kuti okay, sakana ninga asimo vanotamba so but akapinda vakutamba a different ningiri system altogether. Saka ndozvinhu zvacho zvavari kunyanya kuita
okay,
ku pre-season and unoona kuti because unozati award ma players unenge unawo vakawanda, there are a lot of options dzaunenge unadzo in terms of team selection. and team tactics as well.
So
Pa 4-4-2, pa 4-3-3, pa 3-5-2, ndinokwanisa kushandisa ningi na ningi.
You are not one-dimensional.
Exactly.
When you want to change the variations, you know, with McDonald Makwe, you can go direct.
With Chiragu, I can tell you how even Arkungezi, I knew kuti muso anotamba ne Capes and Tambasi. Muso anotamba ne Islands and Tambasi because teki muno yanga ku ndi coach ya akangwara. Wekuziva kuti game randu kutamba ne Capes. What type of players do Capes have? Second of all, Tambasi against the Capes.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm playing Dynamos, maybe because Dynamos, they've got combative midfielders. So what should I do? Do I have to put in as well my combative midfielders so that they can match in the center of the midfield? So even the composition of his team is there's experience and youth. And Sean Choto is young. He's a young boy. Mwana Dixon. And even himself, I think anengakatusa futi mwana wake futi ipapo. One kuti angati achijairira futi kungaita achitamba bhora because ane mwana anotamba bhora.
All right, let's move on.
Ndapenda kuona mwana wako man.
Ko wako iwo.
Inowako ariko.
I can tell you ariko Kepsiko. All right, let's move on. Noted-based PS Assad Moors have signed midfielder Nigel Makumbe from Tel 1. We haven't really had, much from Moors this pre-season, but here's something. The 29-year-old has experience playing in the domestic top flight, having played for Highlanders, FC Platinum and Ngezi Platinum Stars. Meanwhile, the Moors technical team led by head coach Lloyd Mutasa, his assistant Joseph Takaringofa and technical director Wilson Mutekede are currently on a week-long exchange program at Manchester City. So I don't know. That's the picture there of the guys in the UK. Hopefully, there's also going to be some exchange going on between these two sides, not just Pamanots, but hey, having youngsters going there, probably also getting a crack, at a chance to play for Man City. Did I stretch it? Am I stretching it? Am I stretching it?
One can dream. One can dream, and it seems like your dreams are coming from Norton. But anyway, it's a growing trend, and we have to start somewhere. There is no way you are going to have a partnership junior players just going to Manchester City or to Turkey or any of those other places when there's no relationship between the clubs. And when you factor in that a team like Moors, for example, are relatively young, even in their own history here in Zimbabwe, it's encouraging that they're already forging these relations. And then from those interactions, they can learn about some of the things that, when you get promoted to the top flight, you see club licensing as a concept on paper. You look everywhere around the league. You look at the big three. There's not too many lessons you can learn from a club licensing perspective. But when they go there, from ideas to training methodologies, they don't even have to meet with Pep Guardiola. Even just meeting with some of the assistants or just seeing the structure can expose them to something that's different. And I think this is the initial step. I think we've seen Lloyd Mutasa as well go to Turkey. Was it last season? Last season, Tony Ryan was sent to Villarreal by Chicken Inn. So yes, it was actually my exchange program. But I think as we grow, hopefully they have made an impact. They've been able to network. And then when there's an awareness now, there's someone within the Man City structures who knows that there's a Moors, who knows that there's a Lloyd Mutasa. So, if somebody comes in and says, I know Ndluvaku Moors or Ndluvaku Man City, someone there, I'm not saying, the highest person there, but someone within that football ecosystem knows. And it's a start. I hope as we pay my week-long exchange program, we can actually see our players.
But week-long teaching, it already did because, for example, we had Friday Piri. He had an attachment with Chelsea, and before the late Friday Piri, we had Charles Mclaury, and when he went to Germany, he went for some time, not just for a week long, because he just went there to learn zvinhu zvakawanda. And ukatarisa vanhu ivapa vakaenda and vachinodzoka unotoona difference yechi yekuchinja zvinhu. Charles Mklauri paakaenda kuGermany baba, I think he went for almost 6 to 7 months ariko achidzoka. First thing chaakatanga kuti garisa pasi kuti panapa I'm not going to be carrying passengers, this is how we are going to be playing. Takabva tatotanga hatakumirira next season ka, takabva tatotanga. The way we ended season yedu was 2003. That's how we started 2004 with the addition of vanhu vaakazounza to suit system yake. The other thing chaakaita, there was Cape's Academy yakazengana na Oscar Machapo one, which went on to be a feeder. And it, of course, when Charlie left zvake aku national team achizoenda kustates, chinhu chacho chakabva changofa. Andona, but changa chakanaka chinhu chocho because yanga idangotorwa chichingoramba chichingoenda. And that Cape's Academy yatotamba mu Eastern region ku division 1. And Cape's pana vanhu vakazoenda ku UK vakanosara vakangotorana danger 4 pence
vakangoita
that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. But I'm just saying about Charles Mklauri, and because I worked with him, you could see exactly why I agaenda to Germany for that long. Because just 1 week, Howard. Yes, you can go and learn a bit, not much. But
I think this is more about exposure than tactics or any technical.
Exactly.
And also you have to consider that they're smack bang in the middle of preseason. I understand the rest of the team is in Piebridge where they open. So I think at this stage of the season, for them to go on a 1 month long tour, or
they can't, that.
Or even a 6 month, because it's only 2 or 3 months between season. So it's a starting point. Let's hope they're able to build sustainable partnerships.
But zvaku isusu manje tinofana kuzvitora Howard zvekuti season yedu isuda kunzi mune maground ane drainage ane everything. Taitokwanisa kutochinja handiti, so that these guys can go pavanopedzawo season handiti vakuenda kupi kuma clubs aya, because obviously kune maworkers anenge ariko vanenge vachita basa iroro rekuita because you can see Pep Guardiola haana kana holiday. At one time he was in Argentina handiti kunogara pasi handiti achidzidza BS handiti kuti anzwisise what is football.
So yeah, I think like you said, this is also another story for
another day.
Yeah, we will talk to our producers so we can then lay into that issue of development for coaches. Besides the refresher courses, there's also some kind of refresher attachment that they can go on to. All right, for the next 25 or so minutes, we're going to be talking about the Mighty Warriors. They are bracing for a Cosafa battle. They are in South Africa currently. So we are going to be talking to Veronica Gwaze and hear the latest from the Mighty Warriors camp. Stay with us. I told you this is the biggest football show anyway in the country right now.
They call me Racer X, or in this case, Racer J. All right.
Put your seatbelt on.
You're to the couch right here on ZTN Prime. If you've got anything that you want to add to the show that we've got here, we're all over social media at ZTN Prime, hashtag the couch. Let's discuss the stories that we've got. Hey, we've been talking about pre-season for other teams. So now we are now focusing on the Mighty Warriors as they brace up for Cosafa battle. And first on the Mighty Warriors story, well, they return to action tomorrow when they go up against Eswatini in their opening game at this year's edition of the Cosafa Championships in Polokwane, South Africa. Yeah, our Couch squad member Veronica Gwaze is with the team in Polokwane, and this is the latest update from South Africa.
I think you can see from the background, the Mighty Warriors look so much prepared to face Eswatini in their opening encounter for the ongoing Cosafa Cup tournament tomorrow. So the kickoff is at 12 at Old Peter Mokaba Stadium, but looking from the training session that they just had, they look so much prepared and they are ready for the battle. If they are going to win against Eswatini, the better, because 3 points will take them an edge closer to finishing in their Group B encounters on the top. The second game is going to come against Zambia. That looks a bit challenging. This is going to be their real test. So if they can bag the 3 points tomorrow against Eswatini, I think it gives an advantage and a confidence booster getting into their second game. Veronica Gwaze for Zimpepa Sports Hub.
We still have Veronica. She spoke to the coach, Sitetelelwe Sibanda, who's the head coach of the Mighty Warriors, ahead of this opener tomorrow.
Yeah, I think after this session, the girls look good. They are prepared to really play their game. As I alluded earlier on, that obviously we are not going to be 100% fit, especially seeing the situation that we are just from the break, but they are in a very good shape really to compete. So yeah, they are looking sharp with a good session. Trying to prepare for tomorrow's game. Yeah, and we are going just to take each game as it comes. Tomorrow we are focusing on Eswatini, and yeah, the girls are looking sharp, and yeah, we are expecting a very good game.
I think it's a great thing to hear the coach saying the girls are looking sharp. But I think in the background, we are here, part of the fans. We want to see the Mighty Warriors doing well. I remember 10 years back, we would go to Rufaro. You would see Rufaro, almost full. Although, yeah, they would charge $1 for us to watch the game. But there was just a vibe, that the Mighty Warriors brought. So when you look at that, and now this tournament, because we really want to go back where we were. Remember, 10 years ago, we were better than South Africa. Well, at par with South Africa. Remember, we also beat them, is it 2011, Cosafa?
We won the 2011 edition.
We won the 2011 edition. We went to represent Africa at the Beijing Olympics, in 2016.
That was Rio.
Oh, Rio. Hey, what am I saying? Rio.
Using too many Chinese words.
Rio Olympic Games. The Mighty Warriors were there representing Africa. And before that, they had gone to the Nations Cup for women's. But fast forward to now, we can't even match the Zambians. We are ranked below Botswana. We are struggling to match the likes of Eswatini. Could this be the start of something better for the Mighty Warriors?
I think we have definitely regressed since those dizzy heights of 2016. And the key word now, I think, is regression. I think we've regressed drastically. And for us to, for me, looking at this particular Cosafa Women's Championship, yes, Quinji said the players look sharp. But looking sharp and actually being sharp are totally different things, especially when you consider that they've been out of action for close to almost going on 3 months now. They've been in camp for less than a month. So in terms of their match fitness and their competitiveness, there's a big question mark around that. For me, I would like this to be the beginning of a rebuild, because there seems to be an intentionality around how we are treating our women. I think before they left, we saw the government, the ZIFA president himself, representatives from the Ministry of Sport just visiting the girls and trying to reiterate that they support. Because it's not just about sending a team to Polokwane, South Africa, to compete in tournaments like that. It's the work that you do behind the scenes. Is the quality of football that is being played in our women's top flight of a good enough caliber? Are they being supported enough? Yes, we were talking about club licensing before, where every team now is supposed to have a women's team. Is that being adhered to? Is that being taken seriously? Are those teams taking part at the highest level, or they're just, honorary teams just to meet these requirements? So when it comes to this, I think this is the beginning of a rebuild. To expect us to match what we did in 2011, which is when we won it, I think might be dreaming. here I think we can measure maybe how far we are from the teams that have overtaken us. Yes, we used to be better than Botswana, Eswatini. I think we were competitive with Zambia and the likes of South Africa. So now, at this tournament, our objective should be how close or how far are we
from
to these
teams?
I think it's consensus that they have either matched or overtaken us. Now it's just to try and measure how much work we have to do and then try and catch up.
Let me bring you in, David, from where Mr. T just left. The last 5 tournaments of Cosafa, I'm sure the graphic is going to be on screen right now. 2020, we finished in the group stage. 2021, group stage again. 2022, things were bad, did not enter. 2023, we were 4th. And 2024, we finished at the group stage. Realistically, yes, we want to measure ourselves with the other teams in our region, but realistically, how far do you think the goals will go?
But at the moment, we are not good enough, Howard, to be honest. We're not competitive.
So we're looking at what, group stage?
Yeah, you know what, Howard, because like what Mr. Teacher just said, tatokloka almost to 3 months, takagara, and hopefully these girls were active. Because they are different from boys. Abakwanise kutamba mamani game anotamba nawakomana kuti vagare vari active, which is active rest. And so ukazonyatsotarisa manje kuvasikana in terms of fitness vanotora time kuti variche level ratiri kuda, and especially international level. Because all these other nations that we're going to be competing with vari kutotamba ma-league games. And because of August to May season. Saka for them, Israeli, it's an advantage.
They're at their peak.
Exactly. Isusu, teaching them pre-season mode, which is 2 weeks or 3 weeks pre-season at the moment. Saka, in terms of match fitness, Howard, we're below 50%. Below 50%. Anon. Chero tikada kuti chero data kavaisa camp for a month. In terms of match fitness, they were not going to match.
Okay. Yeah. He's painting a different picture, from the one that I've got. It's okay, David.
You look dejected.
Yeah, I am. I've always rooted for the Mighty Warriors.
Do you know why I'm saying this? Because I'm talking from a coach's perspective.
A calf beholder.
And not just a calf beholder, because one hour, inini pataitamba bora chapo mega munotozviona kuti kana musina kuita pre-season, yes, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and chances are munemuri a relegation material team.
Okay, the biggest football show anywhere in the country right now. We will be back and we look at what this really means against Eswatini. We also go back in history, look at the stats. Can they play in tomorrow's game? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Harare. Tune into the beat.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, your source for news, business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
Catch exclusive interviews every weekday for candid, exciting, and thought-provoking conversations with your host, Erika Ndoro.
We talk about arts, we can talk about sports, we can even talk about politics, and sometimes we venture into a nice guitaristic play.
the one story where you can't get out of your head. Karowa mwana mnemambama mu studio. Wakatarisa munhu so Erica like where you are sitting. Ndozongokona bata face so pasina munhu.
Wakasiya music yako iyo afro chakuti ndo music manje yemuZimbabwe.
And I'm sure they're still saying the same thing now.
Yeah, so
Shona kana kuti chindevere kana mumwe mutaure muno muZimbabwe ndiwe iwewe ndiwo rupawo rwako ndicho chidadiso chako.
Catch me, Erica Ndoro, right here on ZTN Prime every single Monday at 7 p.m. whilst we get exclusive.
You're watching The Couch right here on ZTN Prime, and our topic for today, Mighty Warriors brace for Cosafa battle. Yeah, our goals are in Polokwane in South Africa. First game is against Eswatini tomorrow. Yeah, and just before we went for a break, we were talking about some of the things we'll be talking about this segment, and key is the stats between Eswatini and Zimbabwe. 6 times the two teams have met, and Zimbabwe have won 3 times, drawing twice, and they lost once. I don't know if history can play a part in this game, but yeah, this is what happened. Let's hear from the coach, Queen G15.
You know, nowadays there is no room for complacency. At the end of the day, look, Eswatini are in action, their league is on. Obviously, physically, they are fitter than us. Yes, maybe we've dominated them before, but that's not something to really write on. You know, you need to focus on what you are doing at that moment. And we are taking it as a very big game because we know maybe in terms of match fitness, in terms of physical fitness, they could be in a better shape because their games are on. I think, yeah, they're almost like they've played some 20-something games. I think by last week they were playing their 23rd league matches. So, which means in terms of match fitness, they are at a better shape. So there is no room for complacency at all. We need to really take it as a cup final and put in a very good show.
Yeah, in Shona, zvinonzi matakaji kakare haanyaradzi mwana. So takambowina, but it's a different ball game. So you spoke about this, David, the issue to do with their season, you know, having gone. So she said, what, 20
league games?
20 league games.
It's almost more than halfway through the season. Yeah.
So my question, though, that I've got, I understand they are match fit and all that, but let's also not forget there's something called fatigue, right? Yes, they've played 20 plus games. Their telepathy is top notch, but fatigue also plays an important part in a game of football.
Howard, not in this situation.
Okay.
Yeah, not in this situation. Because it favors them, Howard, because already in terms of physical fitness, and they're already up there. In terms of mental fitness, they are up there. Because you know what? These are the 2 most important things that you need in football: physical fitness and mental fitness. If you are not fit, Howard, so
where does fatigue come in?
I don't think, especially during my league games, there is too much fatigue. Unless muchitamba weekend, midweek,
okay.
But as long as muchitamba 1 game in 7 days or in 6 days,
you can't really talk about fatigue.
Yeah.
But David, obviously, as a coach and somebody who's worked with players and been a player themselves, Queen G15 also agreeing with you and admitting that, you know, the match fitness is an issue. How then do you plan for that as a coach, knowing that Amuna fitness issue? How do you approach the game?
Howard, in terms of my tournaments, after every two days, ku tournament. Saka, muna 6 days, zamchatamba bore. And muna 6 days, zamchatamba bore. Moita ma days in between. And worst of isusu tangataka gara for the past 2.5 months. Ugona. Tangataka gara tish. We were not even active. Anon, bo season ichingo pera. Kazhinji kacho kada kutarisa even our own guys, some of them, they don't even go to the gym. And saka chimagina really bora revaskana kutaka peza kutamba games wa 5 November. That was last game parakatamba.
Yeah.
Anon. Apa mova mapina mcamp last week on Monday. Apa tukutaura zvekuti avana kutoita kana even 2 weeks in camp. Less than 2 weeks in camp. And we prepare vana Howard for a tournament. Yamuru expect mimi kuti we want to achieve 1, 2, 3 goals. It will be very difficult for the coach. Anon. Because remember, he's just a national team coach. He's not a club coach. No. Now it's up to the players now. Andonana. Kuti makutaurira no kuti chi apart from zvamaudzwa nani? Zvamaudzwa na coach. Anon. That's why sometimes in Nangu I believe a club like a Rentals, for example, they make sure kuti vakaenda ku off season, the first thing that they do is first week of January they are back for training.
Okay.
Yeah. Zvototi papa ukanzwa ukada kubvunza izvezvi Rentals vato mu week kind of 5 in terms of their preparations, whether it's boys, whether it's girls. Saka naone ma players here Rentals mu team mako, mu national team mako, and whether vaskana kana ma junior national teams there, at least unogona kuwana pekutangira.
So we're sorted.
So we're sorted.
There's a goalkeeper from Rentals, there's a striker from Rentals,
there's a defender from
Rentals.
Yeah,
so
but
all the key departments.
But I was enough forward because Bora ngira utambwa on 11 by 3.
Anyway, so the game against Eswatini is there tomorrow. Then on Sunday, the Mighty Warriors play against Zambia. On Tuesday, the round of the group games against Botswana B. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but we are firmly behind the Mighty Warriors by our buyer.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Look, that's our team. We have to be behind, and I'm hopeful, despite everything that we've spoken about. I'm hopeful that things will work out good for the Mighty Warriors. I'm actually scared a bit about the Zambia game. That's the one that
if we're not careful, that could end up in a hiding.
Even the Botswana game out.
But
Botswana B.
But here's the thing, Howard. I think, like I said, this is an opportunity for us to rebuild. So whatever result, because there's a fear as well that if we go there and we lose narrowly 1-0 to Zambia, we might think we are there. So it's a reality check at this point where we're trying to reset our women's football. The season hasn't started and we're sort of mapping the way forward. Could be just what the doctor ordered in terms of just saying, you know what, guys, stop daydreaming or stop being nostalgic about what happened in 2016. This is the harsh reality. I think since 2020, we haven't gone past the group stage. That is our reality. So now, having failed to do that and with maybe less than adequate preparations because of the timing of the tournament, how far off are we? So I'll be very happy to just see us be competitive, see us show that technically maybe we can match these teams, and it's just we're exposed from the fatigue. Maybe we compete for 30 minutes and then we sort of fall off. Then you can say, you know what, it's purely conditioning. But maybe from a tactical perspective, we can then work on that going forward.
All right. In fact, let's hear from the horse's mouth. We've got a vice captain who we talked to, and that's Christabel Katona, and she believes the new crop of players. Remember, we were talking about the composition of this team. So she believes this new crop of players have settled in well, as she is confident that they can rise to the challenge that awaits them in the games that they are going to play.
Tinema anda vakauyawo vadiki patiri tiri kuvaramba tichivapusha kuti kana ini ndakazviitawo iwo unozvikwanisa kuzviita. Vanenge vachityawo kuti ndina bati hapana, unenge vachingwasimbisa kuti hapana kusingaperi, hapana munhu asingasviki. Ndani ndiri panapa niwo unokwanisa kuzviita.
So that's the voice of the seniors in the team. You know, I think they're just telling the youngsters, look, this is 2011, takaita zvatakaita. all right? Probably also referring to, what happened 10 years ago at the Rio Olympic Games. I got it right now, Rio Olympic Games. So these are stories that, being hacked onto the players. I'm sure even Queen 15 is also talking about her experience. You think this is going to help with the new guys, the new girls who are in the team?
History iribo award kuramba muchitaura. And iribo kuramba muchitaura.
Ngano.
But pane panozodiwa kuita action. And remember kuti tikutaura zvevana vanga vane time vasiri kuita sei? Vasiri kutamba bhora. And saka what is it that Coach Quinji is going to be telling her players kuti, guys, we came to this tournament and tichibva off season. Remember, we're going to be playing my nations. So this is how we are going to be playing. And first 10-15 minutes, let's not concede. And let's be compact. If we get the chance, we can catch them on a counter. Then we can, because I'm a game manenga award ekuto manager fitness levels there. Because you okay fine, 5 substitutes. So those that are starting, can you put all your energy first half kuitira kuti izokwanisa kuizochi tizokwanisa kuisa vamwe futi batsirana, and especially vanotamba kumberi ndo vanotonyanya kutoshanda on. And even in the center of the midfield you also need those grafters kuti vagrafte kana vachiuchizovabudisa ovabudisa woisa futi vamwe.
But how are we on the bench though? Because it's not trainer with my coach. She trains my coaches.
Exactly.
The brains we've got.
Yeah.
So you're talking about managing the game and all that. So we are sorted.
Yeah, we are. Howard, we are sorted. But even our own team yacho. And yes, there are seniors that are there. And Anna Daisy Kaitan. Anna Christabel Katono. And those are the seniors. Vanenge varipo. And saka iva baba vakatutanga vatotamba in terms of match fitness, to be honest. Vakuru vacho zvitori nani vatombotanga vastabilize chitima chacho. Then tozoisa vacho vadiki vavo vatiri kuti vakaunzwa kubva kupi kuma Young Mighty Warriors vachipinda imomo. One, at least they can get that exposure yekunzwisisa kuti kubhora revakuru rinotambwa sei.
Yeah. The Mighty Warriors in Polokwane for the Cosafa tournament. Remember, they've got a game tomorrow against Eswatini, a game on Sunday against Zambia. Then they round off the group games against Botswana B. But you can get all the updates right here on ZTN Prime, also on other Zim Papers platform, whether it's in the Herald, the Chronicle, the Sunday Mail. Veronica Gwaze is right there. Star FM, we have all the details. So make sure you are up to date with what's happening in Polokwane. But what we just say, go Mighty Warriors, go. We certainly hope the girls are going to do us proud. That leaves me to thank the Couch Squad, Mr. Teach, David Sengu, Tadi in Malawi, and Veronica in South Africa. My name is Howard Musonza. Enjoy the rest of the viewing right here on ZTN Prime.